I used to have a company called Malmo and Bagbo Advertising Agency, and the company did so poorly. I ran Google ads, I ran Facebook ads, I spent quite a lot of cash on marketing, and still I made no money whatsoever. So I decided, let me try a new tactic. Let me print flyers. They were A5, I think. This, not too big, this was the size. There were around 200 copies, and I said, let me go to every single business I can find and hand these things over. So I went to Mombasa Road one day. The next day I would be on Ngong Road. The next day I would be on a different road. So I just kept circulating those flyers to as many businesses as I could. And I actually used to time in the morning, because in the morning no one is there. Because there are businesses, you'll go to hand over your flyer and they chase you. So I would go in the morning when they're not there and I slip it under their door. So if I get a building where the soldier lets me in, I slip those flyers under different doors, and I'm out of there. All with the hope of maybe someone will call back and give me some business. Did that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That was all I was going to do in town. No calls, no messages, nothing. So there's a day I just decided, you know what, this is enough. I've tried everything. Google ads, Google is just eating my money. I'm getting nothing in return. People will call, but they never commit. I'm running all these other adverts, no dividends. I've decided to go around and give flyers, nothing. So I took a day or two off. I said, you know what, let me just rest. This is enough torture. Let me recoup, let me relax, let me see if there's something else I can think of. And I could think of nothing. But despite not having any other strategy in mind, I decided, let me go out one more time. But this time, instead of going straight out there to hand over the flyers, I went to church first. I went to Jesus Winner Ministry right there on Roysambu behind TRM. And when I was there, I can't remember how much I had, but I was mad broke. I was down to my last 1,200, something like that. And when the offering basket was going round, I put in 700, if not 600. And that's all I wanted to do. I wasn't there to even listen to the preaching. I wasn't there to receive any prophecy or whatever from the man of God. I was just there to pray to God, put something in the offering basket, and leave and go do my usual handing out flyers, trying to see if I can get some business for my company. And just as I left, if you guys know Roysambu well, when you leave TRM, there's that underpass. There's part of the highway that's elevated, so you have to pass under if you're a pedestrian to get to the matatus on the other side. And as I'm crossing beneath that underpass, I get a call. This call is coming from Rosalind Sabari, who used to work for one of the biggest real estate companies in Kenya called Sherry's Properties. She wants to work with me. She's like, hey, are you Dave? I'm like, yes. So I got your flyer and I think we can do some business. Where are you located? Where's your office? Can you come to mine? So on and so forth. So she ended up giving me business and we've been friends ever since. She's a very good client, and that's a client who converted right after I left church and I had put something in the offering basket. So personally, I tend to believe that if you're going through some form of financial strife or hardship, I'm not saying that pumping money into the offering basket will make you wealthy. It's actually a bad business idea if that's how you think it works, that if you just take $1 million, put it in the offering basket, you leave the service and you end up with 10 million. It doesn't work like that. But if you do sow a seed in the house of God, or rather if you do trust God and bring him into your business, miracles begin to happen. When you guys are about to shut down, a client can come in and buy your entire inventory. You can be selling cars, you've made no sales in January, February, March, and suddenly in April, someone comes and wants 3 Range Rovers. It's a politician who's about to go for campaigns. I want a white Range Rover, I want a TX, I want this, I want that. And suddenly, you guys are able to survive for the next 5-6 months. Even if you're selling just socks, you find someone who is in dire need. They lost their entire suitcase at JKIA and they are the first sock seller they see, and they tell you, give me 20 pairs of socks or 10, whatever. Those are the type of miracles that happen when you involve Jesus in your business affairs. And in Luke chapter 5 verse 1-7, we will get a very classic example of this. Let me just read it for you, and I quote, "One day, Jesus was standing on the shore of Lake Gennesaret while the people pushed their way up to him to listen to the word of God. He saw 2 boats pulled up on the beach. The fishermen had left them and were washing the nets. Jesus got into one of the boats. It belonged to Simon, and asked him to push off a little from the shore. Jesus sat in the boat and taught the crowd. When he finished speaking, he said to Simon, 'Push the boat out farther to the deep water, and you and your partners let down your nets for a catch.' 'Master,' Simon answered, 'we worked hard all night and caught nothing. But if you say so, I will let down the nets.' They let them down and caught such a large number of fish that the nets were about to break. So they motioned to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. They came and filled both boats." Just listen to that. They came and filled both boats so full of fish that the boats were about to sink. When Simon Peter saw what had happened, he he fell to his knees before Jesus and said, "Go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man." So you can see those fishermen were fishing almost the whole night, catching nothing. Cast your net, nothing comes out. The same way me, I would hand out flyers, hand them out. You're working so hard, handing out flyers and getting nothing in return. It's not like you're even lazy. It's different if you're lazy and you're getting no outcomes. You're working hard and getting no outcomes. That's the real frustration. It could be applying for jobs. Like when I was applying for jobs, I used to have this book where I'd write down, and I'm noticing, man, I've applied for 200 jobs and I'm getting no calls. So those are the type of frustrations that people go through. But as you can see in Luke chapter 5 verse 1 to 8, that those who trust God in their affairs and listen to his voice, it is very easy for you to succeed. Even where it makes no sense for you to succeed. Like for me, I got my first job during COVID. When people were being laid off is when I got my first job. While others were being laid off by HR, you're getting a job. While other fishermen are casting their nets and catching nothing, your boat is almost sinking because you've caught too much, way more than you even need. You have to call in the neighbors to come and help you. So those are the types of miracles that happen to those who heed the voice of God and those who involve him in their affairs. Even though the situation is dire, God can be watching, and at the very end, he rescues you. Because he's never late, he's never too early, his timing is just right. Now, if you enjoy this type of videos, you can subscribe right here at High Altitude Ministries. And if you'd like to catch up with us on a different platform, we're available on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And having said that, bye-bye.